Welcome everyone, my name is Josh, and this is Get Bricked. Now today I'm excited because we're checking out another set from LEGO from the Infinity Saga line. Now this is set 76186, also known as the Black Panther Dragonflyer. Now this one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I was a huge fan of these guys from the movie, so I want to see how this one's going to be built and come together. So I mean, let's just get into it. Let's get bricked. So here we have Black Panther's completed Dragonflyer from the Infinity Saga. And this one looks great. This is the set 76186 with 202 pieces and 3 minifigures. Now, these ones are a great representation of a vehicle done up as a Dragonfly style with the 4 wings that you can see. And I like the fact that this vehicle has a fair amount of moving parts to it. Now, we do get the 3 minifigures as well, Black Panther, or, King T'Challa, and then we've got Shuri and a Chitari warrior, it looks like. Now, taking a look at the Dragonflyer itself, it does have a fair amount of moving parts and moving pieces to it. We've got, of course, these 4 wings that kind of move around, and you can move them independently because they are all on just individual ball joints. So you can get them into some interesting positions, especially when they're storing them. And then if we flip it around here, we've got a couple of swords that are attached here. Kind of like they're to indicate legs, but I don't mind the look of it. You can kind of tuck them down and like put them up a little bit to get them out of the way. And then one of the other interesting features of this set is you can actually pop it open, just like they do in the movie. If you've seen Infinity War or Black Panther, these guys can kind of just slot into the wall for when they're in storage, and then they can launch themselves from there. So I like that they built that into this set to give it a little bit of a more characteristic, I guess you could say. And I like the look of the vehicle overall. Now let's take a closer look at some of the minifigures. First up, we've got T'Challa, aka Black Panther. Now, I love the look of this one. We get the purple print matching the kind of glowing style that they show him in the movie with his kinetic suit, where he can actually store up energy and then rebound it off of himself in one big blast. And I like that they've added the purple around the torso and on the head as well. It's just a shame that they didn't decide to add it onto the legs or arms as well. Just to give it a little bit more of that kind of look, I think would have made the character look even better. Now, other than the purple, he's done up all in black, a little bit of gray coloring there. And then we do get this interesting different head style piece where you can actually pop it on and give him like a cap to it, so it's not just a stud on top. So I like that they have that as a nice little touch. It's just a shame that they didn't extend the purple printing onto that, just to kind of make it blend in more with the overall suit itself. But they did include a spare one, so if you do happen to lose it, at least you got a backup. Now, Black Panther unfortunately does not come with an accessory, but he's the kind of hero that doesn't really use much of other tools or accessories himself. He's got his vibranium claws that he likes to use when he's fighting, and then he's got the kinetic energy suit, so I think he's covered for the most part, so I can understand why they didn't include one for him. Next up, we've got what could be considered the smartest person in Wakanda. Of course, I'm talking about Shuri, and she's rocking her signature arm cannons. Now, those cannons do look good with her. I just wish they would have matched more of the style of the ones you get in the movie, where I guess it's supposed to be like a panther head on the end of it that she's launching the energy blast from. It's understandable because this is a small scale to deal with, so it would have been like a customized piece they would have had to make. It's just a shame they didn't do that additional little touch there. But other than that, they do look good and they do kind of fit her character anyways. Now, we do get her, of course, with the print on the front and back of the torso, with a fair amount of detailing and line work, of course, just like with Black Panthers. And again, we don't get any print extending onto the legs or onto the arms at all. Now, we do get a hairpiece that definitely matches the style of her hair, at least one point in the movies. So I do like the look of her overall with that. Now, Shuri is the only one from this set that actually includes two prints for the headpiece. We've, of course, got her more happy face with her smiling there, a bit of an eyebrow raised. And then we've also got the more serious, angry kind of face, where she's actually rocking a bit of a scowl. But both of the prints do look good and capture a good amount of her detailing. And last up for the minifigures, we've got a Chitari warrior. At least I'm assuming he's warrior class. But we do get the print very nicely detailed on the front and back of the torso. It's just a shame, just like the last ones, they don't have the print extending onto the legs or onto the arms. So they do lose a little bit of detailing there, a little bit of additional coloring that they could have added. But of course, we do get the print on the headpiece itself. It's got that good look to the Chitari face. It's just interesting that they decided to go with a print instead of actually having like a separate helmet piece that you could put on. So I guess they saved up so they could actually give him this giant cannon that he's holding. Because of course, if they're going to put a bad guy in this set, they got to give him some kind of a weapon or something to fight with. Now the cannon itself, it looks really nice. We've got a couple of translucent pieces in there. And then we've of course got the gold coloring throughout, matching the kind of look of the Chitari, especially seeing as how you can see some gold reflected on the figure itself. So that brings us back to the Dragonflyer. Now, of course, I did not apply any stickers on this set. The 3 out of the 5 stickers would have been just on that giant piece on the back there that was just not in a bag, it was just in the box on its own. And so I chose not to apply those. The other 2 small ones would have been in the cockpit, adding a little bit of additional detailing. Now, looking around the Dragonflyer, you'll notice it's mostly done up in the black and gray. And we got a little bit of blue accenting, some of the solid blue, and then we've got a couple of blue translucent pieces as well, just to kind of tie it all together and add that little bit of energy effect to it, I think. Now, presumably most of this craft is made out of vibranium, so I mean, good luck trying to break it. Now, we touched on it before, but of course we do get the 4 wings with the independent ball joints for each of them. So you can actually move them around and get them into some interesting positions. And I think they mainly did that because they did give it the key feature of being able to transform in the same manner as it does in the movie. So it's nice that they did that. We get the separation in the middle there towards the front where you can actually pull the back half of it and like kind of bend it down. Basically the way you would expect the Dragonfly to look if it was kind of perched up on something. But of course, that's how they like to launch these ones in Wakanda, where they have those like kind of like launch silos or launch tubes that you have. Now, we do have a little bit of a downside, but it's actually with something that I actually like from this set. And that is the gray panels with the blue translucent pieces, the cheese slow pieces that are running down the side of the main body. They add a fair amount of good coloring to the body itself, and while they do kind of fit into place really easily, the problem is they don't actually lock in place. So if you go to grab the body of it, they're always shifting under your hand. So of course those could easily move around or maybe snap off when you're not paying attention. So you might want to figure out a way to lock those in place. But other than that, I do like the look of them. I just wish they were more secure. Now, finishing up our look around the figure, of course, we've got the tail fins. We got those swords on the side for what should be the legs, I imagine. And then, of course, we've got a couple of the launchers on the front. Now, if we move into the cockpit, of course, we'll see largely decorated with the blue interior. And I did not apply the stickers, so we lose a little bit of detailing there. But overall, there's not much in the way of additional paneling or anything in there anyways. And it's not like there's gears or a wheel or switches or anything like that in there anyways. So we lose a little bit of detailing in there, mainly just because of the small scale that we're dealing with. But I do love the fact that we get the printed windscreen that actually has a decent design to it, adding a little bit of extra coloring and detailing into the screen itself. Now, unfortunately, it does lose points in the fact that the screen is not attached in any way. So anytime you want to pop a figure in there or anything like that, you have to take the whole windscreen off. So just a small couple additional pieces there would have added just a little bit of more playability in my book. Now we'll show off Shuri sitting in the cockpit so you can see what it looks like with the minifigure in there. And of course, it looks great with the minifigure in there. You can still see a lot of the detailing even with the print on the windscreen itself. And I mean, she must know how to drive the thing. I'm pretty sure she built it or at least designed it. But that is it for us today. So let me know what your favorite part of this set was in the comments down below. And make sure you guys like and subscribe and make sure to get that bell on because then you can stay up to date whenever we release new videos. Now, before you take on a Chitari warrior, just be sure to tell everyone that you just got bricked.